Hello dear friends, and a warm welcome back to our channel. It's so good to have you joining us today for a conversation that I believe is incredibly important for all of us, especially as we navigate our health in our senior years. Many of us, as we get a little older, find that medications become a more regular part of our lives. Perhaps it's a daily tablet to keep blood pressure in check, medication to manage arthritis, or something to help with sleep. Our bodies, wonderful as they are, sometimes need that extra support to keep us feeling our best, and modern medicine offers us incredible tools to do just that. We rely on these medications to work effectively, to keep us healthy, and to maintain our independence and quality of life. But here's a question for you, something you might not have given a lot of thought to. Where do you keep your medications? Is it the bathroom cabinet, a kitchen shelf, maybe on your bedside table? These seem like convenient, logical places, don't they? Well, today we're going to talk about something a little bit alarming, but absolutely crucial. Storing your medication in certain common places can actually be quite dangerous. It can be like a hidden time bomb for your health. Improper storage can cause your medications to lose their potency, meaning they won't work as well as they should. In some cases, they can even break down into different substances that could be ineffective or, rarely, even harmful. This isn't meant to frighten you, but to arm you with knowledge, because understanding these risks is the first step to protecting yourself. So in today's discussion, we're going to explore some of these danger zones for medication storage. We'll look at why these places are unsuitable, share some real-life scenarios to illustrate the potential problems, and then, most importantly, we'll cover the correct ways to store your medicines to ensure they are safe and effective. Think of me as a concerned friend, wanting to share some vital information, so please settle in and let's explore this together. Your health could truly depend on it. First on our list of places to avoid is one of the most common spots people choose for their medicines, the bathroom. I know, it seems so logical, doesn't it? The medicine cabinet is often located right there above the sink. It's convenient for your morning and evening routines. But here's the problem. The bathroom is probably one of the worst environments in your home for most medications. Why is that? Well, think about what happens in a bathroom. Showers and baths create a lot of steam. This means the bathroom is a place of high humidity, with moisture constantly in the air. Also, temperatures in the bathroom can fluctuate quite dramatically. Cool when it's not in use, then suddenly warm and steamy when someone has a hot shower. Now, how does this warm, moist, fluctuating environment affect your medications? Firstly, moisture is a major enemy of many pills and capsules. Tablets can absorb moisture from the air, causing them to crumble, break apart, or even dissolve prematurely. Capsules can become sticky, soft, or even leak their contents. This doesn't just make them unpleasant to take. It can alter the way the drug is absorbed by your body, potentially reducing its effectiveness or causing it to release too quickly or too slowly. The active ingredients in your medications are carefully formulated chemical compounds. Heat and humidity can accelerate the degradation of these ingredients. This means the medicine might lose its potency much faster than its expiration date suggests. So, that pill you're relying on to control your blood sugar or ease your joint pain might not be delivering the full dose you need. Let me share a little story about a lady we'll call Margaret. Margaret was in her late 70s and meticulously took her medication for a heart condition. She kept her pills in their original bottle, right in the bathroom cabinet. Over time, she noticed she was feeling more breathless and tired, symptoms her medication usually managed well. Her doctor was puzzled because she insisted she was taking her pills as prescribed. It was only during a home visit from a community nurse for a different reason that the nurse noticed the pills in the steamy bathroom. She gently explained to Margaret about the humidity. Margaret moved her medication to a drawer in her bedroom. At her next checkup, her doctor noted an improvement. It turned out the steamy environment was likely degrading her heart medication, making it less effective. Margaret was doing everything right in terms of taking her pills, but the storage location was silently sabotaging her treatment. It's a stark reminder, isn't it? That convenient spot might be actively working against your health. The heat and moisture can also encourage the growth of mold or bacteria on the medication or its packaging, especially if it's something like a liquid or cream. So the first rule is, as much as it might seem counterintuitive, try to find a new home for your medicines. away from the humidity and temperature swings of the bathroom. Are you starting to rethink where you keep your pills? Good. Let's move on to another very common yet problematic storage spot. The second dangerous place we need to talk about is the kitchen. Again, like the bathroom, the kitchen often seems like a convenient place. Many people take their medications with meals, so keeping them near the dining area or on a kitchen counter feels practical. You might have a little shelf or a cupboard where you keep them. However, the kitchen shares some of the same problems as the bathroom and adds a few of its own. Kitchens are also prone to higher levels of humidity, especially when you're cooking, boiling a kettle, or using a dishwasher. Think of all that steam rising from a pot of soup or your morning tea. Even more significantly, kitchens are sources of heat. Ovens, stovetops, toasters, even the back of a refrigerator that expels warm air. These all contribute to fluctuating and often elevated temperatures in the kitchen environment. And just like prolonged exposure to moisture, exposure to heat can seriously compromise your medications. Heat can accelerate the chemical breakdown of the active ingredients in your drugs. This means the medication might not be as strong as it needs to be. It can also affect the stability of the drug's formulation. For example, creams and ointments can separate or change consistency. Liquid medications might become cloudy or change composition. Even solid pills and capsules can be affected, losing their integrity and potency over time. The expiry date on your medication is based on it being stored under proper conditions, typically cool and dry. Storing it in a warm kitchen effectively shortens its shelf life. I remember a gentleman, let's call him David, who was managing his type 2 diabetes with oral medication. He kept his pills in a cupboard right above his toaster, thinking it was a handy spot for his morning dose with breakfast. He started noticing his blood sugar levels were creeping up, despite being diligent with his diet and medication schedule. His pharmacist, during a medication review, asked him where he stored his pills. When David mentioned the cupboard above the toaster, the pharmacist immediately identified the potential issue. The intermittent heat from the toaster day after day was likely degrading the medication, making it less effective at controlling his blood sugar. David moved his medication to a cooler spot, and with his doctor's guidance, his blood sugar levels began to stabilize again. It's these seemingly small things, isn't it? A convenient location that actually works against the very medicine designed to help us. The kitchen, with its fluctuating heat from cooking and appliances and its potential for humidity, is simply not a friend to your medications. So if your pills are currently living near the stove or your kettle, it's time to find them a safer home. Before we continue to our next point, if you're finding this information helpful and it's making you think, I'd be so grateful if you could gently tap that like button below. It helps our channel reach more people who might benefit from these important health discussions. Thank you ever so much. Now let's move from issues related to enclosed spaces with fluctuating internal environments and talk about an external factor that can be just as damaging: direct sunlight. Many of us have a favorite sunny spot in our homes, perhaps a windowsill, a table near a bright window. It's cheerful and pleasant. But if your medications are stored in a place where they are regularly exposed to direct sunlight, even through glass, you could be facing another problem. Why is sunlight an issue? Sunlight contains ultraviolet, UV rays. These UV rays are a form of energy, and they can cause chemical reactions in many substances, including the active ingredients in your medications. When medication is exposed to sunlight over time, these UV rays can cause the drug molecules to break down or change. This breakdown can lead to several undesirable outcomes: reduced potency. The medication may become less effective because the active ingredient has been degraded, so it won't work as well as your doctor intended. Altered composition. In some cases, the chemical changes induced by sunlight can lead to the formation of new, different compounds. While often these are just inert byproducts, there's a small chance that some might be less effective or, very rarely, even potentially harmful if the drug is significantly altered. Physical changes. You might sometimes see physical evidence of sun damage. Pills might change color, become brittle, or develop spots. However, it's crucial to remember that a lack of visible change doesn't mean the medication is unaffected. The damaging chemical reactions can occur without any outward signs. Think about a medication you might take for your thyroid or a sensitive antibiotic. These are carefully balanced chemicals. Exposing them to the energy of sunlight is like leaving a delicate photograph in the sun. It will fade and degrade. Let me share an example. Imagine Mrs. Evans, who keeps her daily heart medication on her bedside table. The table is right next to a window that gets strong afternoon sun. She'd been on this medication for years with good results. Recently, however, her symptoms seemed to be subtly returning, and her blood pressure readings were a bit higher. During a discussion with her pharmacist about her routine, the pharmacist asked about storage. When Mrs. Evans described the sunny bedside table, the pharmacist suspected that prolonged exposure to sunlight might have gradually degraded the medication, making it less effective. She advised Mrs. Evans to move the medication into a drawer, away from the light. It's important to note that even indirect sunlight, or bright fluorescent lighting over very long periods, can sometimes have a mild effect on very sensitive medications. That's why many medications come in amber-colored bottles or opaque packaging, to offer some protection against light. But your best bet is to store them in a place that is consistently dark, like a closed drawer or a cabinet that isn't in the bathroom or kitchen. So, that sunny windowsill? Great for a plant, but not for your pills. Next up, let's consider a place where medications are often temporarily kept, but which can be surprisingly hostile to them. The inside of your car. Many of us are on the go. We might carry medications with us for when we're out and about, or perhaps we pick up a prescription and leave it in the car while we run other errands. It might seem harmless, especially for short periods. However, the environment inside a car can be one of the most extreme and damaging for medications. The primary issue here is temperature. The temperature inside a parked car can fluctuate dramatically and rapidly, far more than in your home. On a hot, sunny day, even if it's only moderately warm outside, the inside of a car can quickly reach very high temperatures, like an oven. This intense heat can rapidly degrade medications, breaking down active ingredients and rendering them ineffective, sometimes very quickly. Think about delicate medications like insulin, which can be completely destroyed by heat, or even common antibiotics or pain relievers. Conversely, in cold weather, the inside of a car can become freezing. Extreme cold can also damage medications. Liquid medications like syrups or suspensions can freeze, which can alter their consistency and the even distribution of the drug once thawed. Some biologic drugs, like certain injectables, can be permanently damaged by freezing, losing their therapeutic effect. Consider Mr. Henderson. He always kept a small bottle of his emergency heart medication, nitroglycerin tablets, in the glove compartment of his car, just in case. One hot summer day, while out, he felt the onset of chest pain and reached for his tablets. He took one, then another, but felt little relief. Thankfully, he was able to get medical help quickly. It was later suspected that the repeated exposure to extreme heat in the car over the summer months had significantly degraded the nitroglycerin, making it far less potent when he desperately needed it. This situation could have been much more serious. Even if you're just leaving your medication in the car for an hour or two while you shop, if it's a very hot or very cold day, that can be enough to start affecting its stability. If you must carry medication with you, try to keep it in a purse or bag that you take with you, rather than leaving it in a parked car. For medications that require refrigeration, like insulin, use an insulated travel pack with a cold pack when you're on the move. So the car, whether it's the glove compartment, the dashboard, or the trunk, is generally a no-go zone for storing medications, even for short periods, due to those wild temperature swings. We've talked a lot about where not to keep your medications. It might feel like there aren't many safe places left, but don't worry, there are clear, simple guidelines for proper storage. And this brings us to the most constructive part of our chat: correct storage guidelines and the role of family responsibility. Now that we know the common pitfalls, let's focus on the positive actions we can take to ensure our medications are stored safely and remain effective. It's simpler than you might think. The golden rules for most medication storage are: store in a cool place. This means avoiding areas with heat sources like radiators, ovens, direct sunlight, or rooms that get excessively warm. Room temperature is generally considered to be between 68 to 77 degrees Fahrenheit or 20 to 25 degrees Celsius. Store in a dry place. This rules out the bathroom and other humid areas. You want a location with low moisture. Store in a dark place. Keep medications away from direct sunlight or bright, constant artificial light. So, where does that leave us? Ideal locations often include a bedroom drawer, as long as it's not next to a heater or in direct sun. A dresser drawer, a closet shelf in a bedroom or a linen closet, provided the linen closet isn't prone to dampness. A dedicated medicine box or cabinet that is specifically kept in a cool, dry room, not the bathroom medicine cabinet we spoke of earlier. Here are some additional important tips for correct storage. Keep medications in their original containers. These containers are designed to protect the medication and have important information on the label, like the drug name, dosage, instructions, and expiry date. If you use a pill organizer, it's often best to transfer only a week's worth at a time and keep the original bottles for reference. Pay attention to specific instructions. Some medications have very specific storage requirements, like needing refrigeration, e.g. some insulins, liquid antibiotics, eye drops. Always read the label and any patient information leaflets, or ask your pharmacist if you're unsure. If it says refrigerate, don't store it at room temperature, and certainly don't freeze it unless specified. Child safety. If you have young grandchildren or other children visiting your home, ensure all medications are stored out of their reach and sight, preferably in child-resistant containers. This is absolutely critical to prevent accidental poisoning. Regularly, check expiry dates. Make it a habit, perhaps every few months, to go through your medications and check their expiry dates. Using expired medication can be ineffective at best and potentially risky at worst, as the chemical composition might have changed. Properly dispose of unused or expired medications. Don't just throw them in the trash or flush them down the toilet unless specifically instructed to do so. Many pharmacies offer take-back programs for safe disposal. This protects both the environment and prevents accidental ingestion by others or pets. Now, this is also where family responsibility comes into play, and it's a vital part of medication safety for seniors. If you are a senior, don't hesitate to ask for help from your adult children, grandchildren, or other trusted family members or caregivers if you find managing your medications and their storage challenging. Perhaps your eyesight isn't what it used to be for reading labels, or maybe mobility issues make it hard to reach ideal storage spots. And if you are a family member or caregiver for a senior, please consider this an important area where you can offer support. Gently check where medications are being stored. Help organize them if needed. Offer to assist with checking expiry dates and disposing of old medicines. You can help set up a good, safe storage system. This isn't about taking over, but about working together as a team to ensure safety and well-being. Open, kind communication is key. Sometimes a gentle conversation pointing out the risks of, say, bathroom storage can make all the difference. So making sure medications are stored correctly is a fundamental part of them working effectively. It's an act of self-care, and for family members, an act of love and support. So, let's recap what we've journeyed through today. We've acknowledged that medications are often a vital part of maintaining health as we age. We then explored 4 common but dangerous places where medications should not be stored. The bathroom, due to high humidity and temperature fluctuations. The kitchen, because of heat from cooking and appliances and humidity. Direct sunlight, as UV rays can degrade medications. Inside a car, due to extreme and rapid temperature changes. We've seen through stories and explanations how these environments can render your medicines less effective or even cause them to change in undesirable ways. A silent health time bomb. But we didn't stop at the warnings. We then focused on the positive and practical, the correct ways to store your medications in a cool, dry, dark place in their original containers, paying attention to expiry dates and specific instructions. And we highlighted the important role that family members can play in supporting seniors with safe medication management. My hope today is that this information has empowered you. It's not about creating fear, but about fostering awareness and encouraging proactive steps. The medications prescribed by your doctor, or recommended by your pharmacist are intended to help you, to support your health, and to improve your quality of life. Ensuring they are stored correctly is a simple yet profound way to make sure they can do their job effectively and safely. I invite you now to take a quiet moment after this video. Perhaps go and check where your own medications are stored. Are they in one of those danger zones we discussed? If so, can you identify a safer spot for them? Maybe this is a good opportunity to have a conversation with a family member about it. What are your thoughts on this? Were you aware of all these storage risks? Do you have any of your own tips for safe medication storage that have worked well for you? Please do share your experiences or questions in the comments section below. Your insights are so valuable to our community, and by sharing, we can all learn from each other. As always, let's keep the conversation respectful and supportive. Thank you so much for your time and attention today. It's a topic close to my heart because your health and well-being are so important. If you found this discussion helpful, please consider giving it a thumbs up, subscribing to our channel for more content like this, and perhaps sharing it with friends or family members who could also benefit from this knowledge. Until we meet again, please take wonderful care of yourselves, stay informed, and ensure your medicines are stored safely so they can work their best for you. Bye for now.